Well, welcome back, Bachelor Nation, to Take 10 with Shane and Michelle and our recap of the finale, the final rose ceremony. And we've got Miss Sophie joining us once again, our SME subject matter expert.
Matter expert.
That's her. And you know what, everybody? We watched it, well, at least Shane and I, we watched it live.
I'm very proud of you, Michelle. I know that took a lot of effort for you, but it was so good.
It did. It took a lot of effort to actually put that time aside, but I'm so glad that I did. Sophie, you weren't that far behind us. You tuned in Monday night as well.
Right. I just always start late and I record so I can skip the commercials.
Yeah.
But yes, Shane and Michelle were texting me like, oh, you got to catch up. And I was like, I got to get there. I definitely, I don't know. I think overall, I think that they oversold the big shocker. Do you guys
I was waiting for it. I have mentioned it in week 1. What is going down with this never seen before? Because remember,
I have nothing. To say, Sophie, you are the expert, but as far as I know, I have never seen the two girls come in together and such. That was amazing.
No, I mean, that definitely, like, it was a surprise. And then I think the fact that Daisy said, I know that I'm not it. I've never seen that happen either.
Ladies, let's back up just a minute.
Sorry, getting ahead of myself.
No, it's so like we want to get to the end, and I want to take a step back because the darn thing was 3 hours, right? 2 hours for the episode, and then the hour after.
I don't think it felt like 3 hours though. The commercials did, but the actual episode, I mean, the commercials, I can't even count how many commercials was in between.
They were long.
Yes, long commercials.
They were long. They met each contestant met. So we have Daisy and Kelsey met Joey's family, right? That was pretty much the gist of the episode. So what did you think about the family meetings?
Sophie?
Well, it struck me that they did them the same day. I don't think that's typically how they do it. I think normally one contestant will go meet the family, and then they have a date the next day or something. And then like the following day or a couple days later, the other one meets the family. So it's not normally back to back like that.
Was it back to back, or did they just show the footage that way?
It was back to back.
It was back to back.
Same clothing, everything. Yeah. I think that, well, the dad was not very vocal. I thought the mom was really sweet and really warm and welcoming and really, I love how she asked Daisy, what makes you you? Yeah. I love that she just really cared about the other person. It wasn't just, why do you love my son and what's special about my son? I thought she just cared, and she took an interest in a way that I don't normally see on the show. So I thought she was great. I thought, his sister seemed really friendly and very tight-knit, just a tight-knit family, I think.
Right. I thought the sisters were great. I loved how they asked each one, if he would ask you to marry him, what would you say? And Daisy was more confident than Kelsey.
Yeah.
Which really kind of led us down a path of, interesting.
Yes. So that in hindsight is why she left the note, that she wanted to talk to him because she felt that she did that. And so that's why she left the note. She's like, I shouldn't have probably put more words into the note. But that was what you just said, Michelle, is the main reason why she said she left the note.
The note was the last.
The note was before that, though.
I know, but that was her feeling of why she left the note. Is she didn't feel that she left him feeling like positive about them. That because that came out.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I got
that
you.
came out in this last episode of when she was talking about it, and that she would have changed the way she would have wrote it. But that was the main reason, is what you just said, Michelle. Is she didn't feel like she left him as a positive, like that she loved him.
Well, you're talking Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah.
Yeah, because she told the sisters, I think I'd say yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I like Kelsey, and I think they're a great couple together. But for her to say, well, it's not like I'm trying to check a box, and the reason I'm saying this is because it's Joey and I want to marry Joey. Okay, in a normal situation, that's a good answer. But you're on a show where you're basically expected to get engaged if you get to the end. So if you're kind of wishy-washy on getting married, why are you on that show? Like it didn't make sense to me. It felt a little like,
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
Maybe I'm fishing. I mean, look, I think that's the right thing to say to the family. And I respect that she's not, trying to get married. She's fairly young.
Right.
They both were fairly young. But to say that as if you didn't consider marriage when you're on a show that ends in marriage,
I agree. I thought they had good connection with the family. I felt like Daisy, she laid it out there. She was very well spoken and articulate, and both meetings went well. It was after the family meetings where things went a little awry on Daisy's side. I think that their evening was not the best.
Well, it was a strange one-on-one, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean that? Yes. Yes.
And, it's okay to find a spiritual balance and doing that. But that one was it was a little different than what Kelsey got. Maybe they should have done the same thing. But I think actually she at that point knew. Like that's when, after the family meeting, she knew. And I think she got the feeling. And I think also he was trying, like I told you, he said he was not going to say I love you until it was the right one.
No,
and
he was in love with both.
I do think he definitely loved Kelsey. Excuse me. Daisy. Yeah, Daisy, but just not to the full extent of to spend the rest of his life with her. So
no, he didn't. I mean, that was obvious. So let's fast forward, ladies. Daisy's big move.
The knock on the door. When the knock on the door happened, who did you think was going to open?
Joey.
Yeah. Joey. I did too.
I thought, well, she's going to, like Kelsey got to see Joey and left him in the note and all of that. She is going to, I thought she was bailing at that point.
I did too. I thought that was going to be her mission out right there.
Yeah. I did too. I thought, well, she's just going to tell him, listen, I feel it. Come clean with me. Maybe I don't have to. Hey, a Leslie moment, right? Leslie didn't. Gary's the one who told Leslie, so she didn't have to suffer through and walk down.
Well, it kind of naturally unfolded. I don't think he went in with the intent of, I'm going to tell Leslie that it's over, but I don't think he could fake it anymore. And it came a point where he was like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I can't deny it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I definitely thought she was knocking on Joey's door. But then I'm like, why get all dressed up? Oh my God, if I'm gonna peace out, I'm not doing my hair.
She said,
I didn't think about that.
She even said, I'm gonna walk. What if it is me? I mean,
she did say that, Shane. That's right. She had that moment where, what if it is?
What if it is? I'm still gonna go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
But I will have to tell you, that is quite a moment to go into the other lady's room and discuss your feelings for the same man and really come to the conclusion of what they did. I mean, I think that truly was an amazing moment. And again, that has never happened in a Bachelor episode.
Right.
Before. Never.
Right. And then, oh, go ahead, Sophie.
I was going to say, like, before she did that, that morning when she was kind of sitting there journaling by herself, I thought to myself how lonely it must be when these girls get to the end. They have no one to talk to. They're probably driving themselves crazy. And I thought I would do the same thing. Maybe I would just be like, I need to like talk it out. Maybe not the best person to talk it out with, but
somebody
left.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you're in a vacuum. I mean, what are you going to do? Talk to Jesse Palmer? Like,
exactly. Well, you know, and she said they kind of connected themselves in the house. You know how you get your person, and it was those two that seemed to connect and socialize together. So yeah.
And I think I heard them both say that, you know what, whoever it is, my best friend's one of us is gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they felt, which is good, you know, that they did comfort.
Yep.
So yeah, so that was when they showed each in the car. And then they showed them together holding hands, and we were
Shane and I were texting. We were like, OMG. And I was
did not
texting Sophie, like, catch up, girl, catch up.
Well, then I started, like, when I finally got there, I was like really thinking about the logistics of it. I'm like, okay, so they're going together. And then I started to be like, is it possible that then once they got out of the car, they were separated and they, like, you know, gave them each 20 minutes so that, like, they didn't know who was going first? Or was it truly like they got out of the car and the guy was like, okay, Daisy, you're going first. And then they both knew, because typically the first one is the one that's going home. So I kind of want to know, like, the inner workings of what happened and the timing.
I
Daisy, if you're out there and you want to come on Take 10, you come.
Yeah, if you're a producer on the show, I
would like to know.
Oh, we want to know. Here's the thing. So when you process it and you think back and then you read, you know, for the last, it's Wednesday, it's been 2 days. When she got out of the car, she hugged her, said, you know, it was very emotional how your mother, you know, Daisy talked about her mother. And then there was, at this point, no element of surprise. No, even I read that they think that maybe Daisy took away the specialness of the proposal from Kelsey, because she basically said, I'm not it. And, you know, told her that. So now Kelsey knows it's her. There was a little bit of chit chat about that. And when I started thinking about that, I kind of agree that it did take away from Kelsey's moment a bit, because it wasn't the element of the wow factor. She walked down knowing she was it. And that's different.
But well, yes, I agree. I mean, but they both knew that going in. I mean,
well, no, I know they did. I'm just saying that,
they knew that was the case. And I was also thinking, like, I don't know if the lead, because when Daisy walked out, I said, you know, maybe it is going to be a shocker. Maybe he is going to pick her and then eliminate Kelsey, because sometimes I don't know if the lead gets to choose the order. Like, maybe some leads want to, you know, propose first and then dump the other one. Normally it's the other way around, but I started spiraling all these possibilities.
Well, I kept thinking too, because I thought ABC likes to keep us on our toes. Mm-hmm. And my assessment at the end, and I do think they're a great couple, right? I picked her several weeks ago. I thought she was going to make it to the end. But when it got closer to the end, I felt in my heart that Daisy seemed like she made a better long-term partner than Kelsey. And I was trying to put my finger on it. And I think because he kept saying, we have such a great physical connection, he and Kelsey, we have such a great physical connection. And I thought, well, that'll get you for a bit. But you're not going to sustain that. And so I started thinking about that, right? I was over analyzing, looking at Daisy and Joey versus Kelsey and Joey. I think they're a lovely couple. I know they're going to have a long engagement. They basically have been now making the rounds on all the media outlets about that. It is going to be a long engagement, but there's more danger in the long engagement than the short engagement. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I did watch an interview, and I found out something interesting, which I think is great. So when they did finish the proposal, they said they did get some time to call family and tell family immediately what happened. Obviously, they had to be, sequestered and, not talk about anything or whatever. And then they are completely separated. And they said during that separation, what ABC has done now is they give you couples therapy.
I saw that. Yeah.
They do virtual couples therapy with them to get them through this time, because you're engaged and then you're sequestered and you can't see each other. And they said that really helped. And I think maybe they've learned from Sophie, from the previous situations that have happened with bachelors and bachelorettes, that, some help, but they did say that about being alone. Even Joey said that. Even Joey said that last week was hard because you are alone. He was alone a lot, and the girls are alone a lot.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you spiral and you think, all the different scenarios. And, I think Daisy just took it into her own hands to figure out what was going to happen, versus just letting it unfold.
Yeah. I thought she showed a lot of, as the show progressed, I will say, I felt that Kelsey came across a little bit less mature than Daisy. And I think
that was what I was. Yeah.
This episode, it was, Daisy just showed so much emotional intelligence and maturity, and just, not that she had to hold herself together, because she didn't, but she did hold herself together. Like she walked out of there just so confident and brokenhearted, but still like, I'm going to be okay. And
that's the big thing, is if I can love the wrong person this much, can you imagine how much I can love the right person?
Yes. And I do want to talk about the next Bachelorette, because they were apparently asked Daisy, and you could see she wasn't signing up for that.
She was in love. She truly loved Joey.
Yes.
I wasn't confident she wasn't going to do it. She came out in that dress, and I was like, I
was like, you go, girl.
That's the best right there.
We got to up our game, man. We're like,
that's a revenge dress right there.
Yeah, that's what Paige did. Remember Paige in not Paige. Why do I keep calling her Paige? Faith in the Golden Bachelor. She came out in that. It was like, hot damn, girl.
I also just felt like she was so genuinely happy at that point. She actually did seem like she had
processed
over it. Like,
she was over it. That's for sure.
But I think, I don't know, Sophie, you've seen more than we have, but I really do think this was a really good one and a good finish for this one.
Yeah, I feel like has kind of re-energized the franchise. He was just so well received. We've talked about that already, but he didn't mess up. Like so many of them, they do something, they say something, and people get angry. He just was like the poster child for what a bachelor should be. And he got.
I hate to be the guy that follows him.
What?
I hate to be the bachelor that follows him. Season 29.
Oh my gosh! Yes, yeah.
Speaking of that,
yeah.
Kelsey's dad is interested in the.
Is he?
Bachelor. He is not saying no. So if ABC is thinking about the marketing on this, again, you've never had a father-daughter duo come on the show and see what happens. So
yes, but I did read he's too young for it.
what?
He's probably in his 50s,
He's
right?
in his 50s.
Well,
So he's too young for the Golden Bachelor.
what do we need to be golden?
Well, I know.
We're golden.
I think that they have to at least be in their 60s. And but what they did also say, Shane, is that he could potentially be one of the contestants on the Golden Bachelorette is a potential suitor, because that age, I think he's okay. They said he's not old enough for what they have is the range for the Golden Bachelor.
Is he gonna really want to date a 70-year-old?
No, no, but
Yeah,
they could wait.
So do you think, how old is Leslie?
She was like, what, 68?
64, 65.
Oh, 60. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, ladies, I just have to say it did keep me on the edge of my seat. Sorry, Daisy. I do feel that Kelsey was the right pick for him, as far as when you see like what now they're interviewing him and stuff, and he is just gushing like over her. Like, she's like, she is my person. Like, she completes him is what he has said. He, he helps, bring him down, make him goofy. Don't make him so serious, this, that, and the other. So, I wish them all the best. They're cute. They are a very adorable couple. So
let's talk about Jen as the Bachelorette. Did anyone see that coming? I didn't.
I don't think the entire world saw that coming.
Oh, no.
So what do you think, Sophie?
She just wasn't a favorite for me on the show. Like, I didn't dislike her, but I wasn't like rooting for her. And I thought she was kind of awkward when she got up there to be like, I mean, she made that joke and it didn't land. And she felt very much like she was putting on airs. Like she didn't, I don't know. And maybe she's just nervous and kind of felt like she needed to come out there with a script, but I didn't feel like it was genuine.
Yeah, I agree. I was telling Shane, I just didn't feel like she didn't seem to have the personality for it when we saw her, just even with Joey, and as they progressed, he liked her. She made it pretty far, maybe the final 5, give or take. She was she just didn't seem like she could hold the franchise. That now she could surprise us, and I'm all for that. It's just I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they entertained Maria or not. I'm sure they did.
At least what I have seen, she said no.
Oh, they had asked her.
Yes, it was Daisy first, and then Maria.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they decided on Jen.
What did you guys? So Shane, Michelle, I heard what you said. Shane, did you see that coming? Do you think you're going to watch? Do you feel excited?
You know what? I don't know. I might have to start out with the first one and see, it also is not just the girl. I hate to say it, but it is the guys. So the guys are just as much as entertaining.
For sure. I think especially on the Bachelorette.
Yes.
We were all enthralled with Joey on The Bachelor, but I think with The Bachelorette, I just see us really focusing on who's this group of guys. Now, hopefully they're not starting out with 32. I mean, that was great. That was too much.
Yeah.
What they were thinking.
Normally it's 30. It's really not that big.
That's a lot.
Well, it is. No, it is. I'm saying that, they added 2 people or something and they're like, oh, the most women. It's like, what's 2 more?
Okay. So they already have a lot. Okay. Well,
they already have a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for the one that I will watch is the Golden Bachelorette. I want to see this group of more mature senior men, a group of them going. I want to see that one. And I don't know, they're not saying when it's going to air. We got to look into that. And then all of us, the reason I think it's Leslie is, and I think I said this last week, they're bringing her like in all of a sudden. She wasn't part of the little group, and all of a sudden she's everywhere, taking selfies with Gary at the Bachelor showing. I mean, did you see that? Yeah. I mean, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We certainly had fun, and we thank everybody if you've made it to the end of this series with Take 10. We appreciate everybody watching and commenting, subscribing. We ended up getting some new subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, because we will be announcing soon what we're going to cover next. Will it be the Bachelorette with Jen? Don't know. Will it be the Golden Bachelorette? Maybe. Will it be another reality TV show, which we've been talking about? Would you? Yeah, Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. We got to see when that one starts. That's an interesting one. All right, guys. Well, I think we've had a blast. Joey and Kelsey, we wish you the best. Daisy, you are just a sweet peach, girl. I mean, love you to pieces. If you want to come on, we'd love to have you on. Joey and Kelsey, we'd love to have you on too. Just to hear some behind the scenes. It'd be just kind of cool to really the timeline to kind of figure out, you know, like the car scene, like, ooh, how long did you stand there before you decided who was going to walk down? Nobody's asked those type of questions.
Nobody has. Yeah, I would love to know that. Anyway, ladies, thank you, Sophie. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a fun adventure.
I'm so glad you guys stuck it out to the end.
Season 28 in the books, and we appreciate it. So, Shane, I think that's a wrap.
We're making all of our moments magical
in Florida and beyond, and especially Bachelor Nation. So until the next big series, everybody, take care and be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you.
Bye.
Thanks, Sophie.